All right. Well, listen, good evening. For those of you who are joining us, thank you so much for taking time to tune in to our Dream Again podcast. My name is Eugene Boger, and I serve as the pastor of Bethany United Methodist Church. This opportunity to just kind of share with the community of faith, which I serve, and even those who will be willing to tune in as we are beginning these conversations about dreaming again. I believe that it is important for everyone, disciples of Jesus, and to live with a dream. And what we are doing for the next few, not each week, but as the weeks progress or as the time progress with the, the podcast, provide information and inspiration on what it means to dream again. So again, just very grateful for all of you who are with us, and we hope that this will be a blessing to you. Listen, I want to pick up from where we started last week. Last week we started this conversation um, looking at dreaming again from as it relates to congregations. And we're going to continue that again. This idea of dreaming again, or at least the nucleus of our conversation, is centered around congregations dreaming again, centered around disciples of Jesus dreaming again, and again seeing or living in the horizon. One of the things we started doing is, of course, creating some definitions. What exactly are we talking about when we say living in the horizon, to dream again? What exactly does that mean for us? One of the ideas that it comes to mind when we are talking about dreaming again, living in the horizon, is see endless possibilities in the midst of your current reality. So it is trusting and believing that what you are experiencing right now is not the full extent of your life. It's not the end. That is important for a disciple of Jesus, a congregation to wrap your mind around, to keep dreaming, to keep believing, trusting, and having faith, even seeking God's attention beyond what you are experiencing right now. What we identify horizon, or the power of the horizon. The horizon is beyond where the boundaries cut off. When we are looking at the horizon, we are living in the horizon, because truly there are parts of life, there are things in life awaiting for us to experience. And quite often we don't have a chance, or we don't get to experience life in the horizon, because we are convinced that what is happening in life right now is, is all that there will be, that there's nothing beyond what I know and experience. Well, friends, again, these conversations will hopefully inspire and even encourage, and perhaps even teach how we can live in the horizon to dream again. There's a book that I have been referencing in this preparation for the Dream Again idea. It's a tagline here at Bethany. It's a book by Bob Dale. And in the book, he makes one important note, that life is truly one that's worth living when we live in dreams. For some people, to live in dreams is to not live in reality. For some people, dreamers are not realistic. And but I believe that persons who live in the horizon, who see life beyond the right now, are not naive. They have simply placed their trust in someone that open doors and then beyond what they're experiencing. Again, last week we were in the conversation around the church, and we were looking at the life cycle of a church, and how quite often churches do not have an opportunity, or do not take the opportunity to dream again, because they continue to, I guess, plateau at a certain part of the life cycle. At the life cycle of a congregation, certainly um, can be applied to the average church, the life cycle of the church. I'm not going to go through all of it like I did last week, but the the life cycle of the church uh, looks like an incline. The church begins, and there's an incline. Church reaches a certain point, and it reclines, meaning it plateaus. It does not experience growth. Uh, this is the time frame where there are very few new people joining the church. There aren't any new members or babies or young people, and then unfortunately these same churches will continue that life cycle and experience decline. For you to consider your congregation and where perhaps your congregation very well may be in that life cycle. All right, sorry for the little audio challenge. So what we explained is that at the point of decline in, in the life cycle of the church, instead of allowing that church to die, and instead of giving for your congregation. And what I want to do for the next few moments that I have with you is to start this conversation. What does that mean? What does that look like to start a new life cycle? What does it mean to actually for a congregation to for a few more moments for you to consider? Um, and I also believe, strangely, that this could also uh, help out for the individual. Uh, so what I'm offering for the congregation, there are four components that would make up the the new life cycle for uh, MS dreams. Uh, the new life cycle can begin by one, dreaming for the future. A new life cycle for the congregation can begin by uh, with relationships, that is, embracing new people and dreaming, creating a new life cycle continues with ministries that focus on reaching others and creating a new life cycle that anchor accountability. Today, we want to probably look at just a couple, the first two, and we might even just focus on that one for our sake of our time. But what I want you to do is to think about this and kind of internalize this uh, four components of creating a new life cycle. Again, this is what it means to dream again. You don't give up. You don't resign or just kind of tuck your tail at the moment in the life cycle of the church or even the individual where you are experiencing recliner, you've plateaued. I want to go back to the previous screen, previous two screens. just again, so you can get a visual of the conversation. So again, the life cycle of a church, and I think that if we pay close attention, we can probably even draw a parallel of the life cycle of the individual, and how we all can emotionally, literally, figuratively identify these parts of our lives. But we all reach this point of a recline. Uh, and again, that recline is the point where we all just kind of coast, and we feel as though there's nothing new taking place in life. Doing the same things over and over again. Again, it happens for the individual, it happens for the faith congregation. And in order to prevent us from getting to the point of decline that results in death, the suggestion for us: start. That is the moment that we begin to dream again. And we dream again. Uh, by dreaming again, we are able to see life, a new reality. Here's my first position, the first idea that I like to every church and every individual has a life cycle. More importantly, every church and every individual can restart a new life cycle. You can restart a new life cycle by dreaming again. So, what does it mean to dream for the future? What exactly does that mean? Um, or how do we go about doing this dreaming for the future? First thing I want to kind of highlight the way that you can uh, uh, dream for the future. Uh, Sometimes we can be a little embarrassed by seeing life beyond the right now. Again, I mentioned earlier today, sometimes dreamers have a bad label. They're laughed at. We are laughed at. We are told that we are living in the unrealistic life. We're living in fairy tale land, uh, etc. But again, life without dreams is a boring life. Uh, life without dreams is a life that I don't think is, um, you know, is really. I'm probably a little radical in saying. So I want to suggest to you that the way we start this new life cycle is to dream, to not be ashamed or afraid of your dreams, and to keep it visible and even public. Keep the dream out there. Write your dreams. Talk about your dreams. Proclaim your dreams. The Bible has a saying that if uh, we have what we say, and the proverb writer declares that there's the power of life and death in the tongue. Proclaim that dream. Uh, you can see beyond right now. You have something in your mind that you would like to have realized and experienced beyond right now. Whatever that is, speak it, write it down, Make it clear, make it plain, make it visible, make it public. But what I'm suggesting to you that tonight, don't be ashamed of being, keep it public and keep it visible. Here's the second part of uh, restarting this life cycle, or dreaming for the future. Dream for the future is not only to refuse to be ashamed and to make it public and visible, uh, but I think one of the things that's really important about a dream is, so let's just take the life of the church, for example. If we dream uh, about a church that accepts and embraces everyone, a church that welcomes families and children, well, not only do we need to talk about it, uh, not only do we need to make that dream visible and make it public and to not be ashamed, what we also must do is establish priorities and targets. How is that we kind of target? So if we are dreaming about children, then now we begin to make that a priority. We target families, and we target areas with families. We target ministries that appeal to families. Congregation can begin this new life cycle of dreaming and living in the horizon. Again, one is to keep it public, make it known. Don't be ashamed. Proclaiming your dream just seems unrealistic. That's the purpose of a dream. Dreams are beyond what we see with our human eyes. And if we dream, God will meet us at our dream and make it a reality. One of the ways that we can help this process, again, is this second point, for us to establish priorities and targets. So whatever that dream is, and again, I just gave the example, whatever that dream for the future will be for you, for your congregation, start to establish. Let me shift here for the close. What I've described for you is the dream as we're creating a new life cycle and making dream a reality as it relates to congregations. But what about you as an individual? You have dreams. You have your, how do you are experiencing this plateau? How do you in the horizon? I want to submit to you the very same principles. Talk about your dreams. Now, there's some who will say, and we even talked about this in our Bible study at Bethany, that sometimes when God gives us vision and gives us a project and gives us an assignment, that we ought to be careful who we communicate, and telling all of our business, and even telling that God dreams. And I think this is something different. So this is not a miscommunication of that principle. That is important. We should not cast our pearls among swine. But dreams are creating realities for our lives beyond the right now. You got to talk to your dream, speak it into reality, and refuse to be ashamed. And so, not only should the church not be ashamed of dreaming beyond the right now, but also the individual. The individual should not be ashamed. If now you are striving to be an entrepreneur, striving to start your own business, you are looking for a new job or a better job. You want to improve your life. Maybe it's your health. Maybe you dream and you see yourself being more healthy than you are now, being healed from certain illnesses. Well, friends, again, you can see yourself beyond that. Start talking and using the language and making your dream public and visible. You make you as an individual being what you dream, living like it. If you dream again of perhaps starting your own business and being an entrepreneur, you make that dream public by conducting yourself like an entrepreneur, making yourself ready for entrepreneurship, watching what and doing the work towards and taking the necessary steps, the necessary risk, as opposed to living in fear. Make it public, live it out, make it a reality in your life. Here's the second piece, and this is where we're going to conclude. Just as we made the suggestion that the congregation should establish priorities and targets that will allow them to dream again, I also want to submit to you that the individual must also establish priorities and targets. The individual should establish certain priorities that will line up with your dream, certain targets, set boundaries in your life. Listen, our time is up. We broadcast our next segment. Our next segment will certainly invite, have an opportunity to invite others to this conversation. I want to thank you for kind of listening in to this Dream Again broadcast, and I pray it was a blessing to you. And until we meet again, friends, God bless you, and may the Lord keep you.